Namaste and welcome to Vinyasa Flow. My name is Michelle Chua. For this practice, you'll want to have 2 yoga blocks. And let's begin in a seated position in which you can turn out the legs in front of you. So you may like to have a couple of blocks in their lowest height, side by side, to sit on, helping to relax the hip flexors if they need some relaxing in order for you to sit up tall. We've been talking in the past few days about the yogic practice called brahmacharya, which I often sum up to mean wise use of our energy. But as we enter hatha yoga, which is the physical asanas, the postures, the movements, and the breath work, one of the aims is to purify our minds and our bodies, to bring balance of energy. And today I want to highlight 2 of the 7 main chakras and focus a bit on balancing energy there. The first is at the very base of the spine. It's called your root energy center, or in Sanskrit, Muladhara Chakra. It is responsible for your ability to feel a sense of grounding, a connection literally to Mother Earth and your earth body, your physical body. It's also your sense of safety and your basic needs of living being met, such as your shelter, your livelihood, food, air, all those basic needs to stay alive. And the second chakra that I'd like to highlight is way up at the crown of the head and slightly above it. And this is your crown energy center, or in Sanskrit, Sahasrara Chakra. This is responsible for your feelings of connection to the spiritual realm. Note, you might think of what your ways of cultivating your spiritual wellness. So it's your sense of connection to not only the earthly realm and other human beings and earthly bodies such as the earth, but it's also your connection to the universe at large. It's your acknowledgement that in some way all living things, seen and unseen, are interconnected. And so these 2 will be a practice, something that we'll be focusing on quite a bit in our physical practice today. So let's start grounding in what is present for you right now. Take a moment to be still and maybe close your eyes. Noticing whatever sensations your body is showing you. Noticing without judging them as something you like or don't like, or something that's good or bad, so that we're able to open our perspective to all of it. Sensing how you feel physically, now begin to notice the breath without changing the way you're breathing. Feeling the qualities of the breath. Notice how you're feeling energetically. Now observe your state of mind and heart. How are you feeling mentally and emotionally? Let's start to deepen the breath, filling up with a deeper inhalation and opening the mouth to empty the breath. Inhaling fuller, feeling the breath, maybe even the back of the body. And perhaps sighing it out, releasing any sound as you exhale. Again, even deeper inhalation. Slow exhalation. As you connect to the flow of the breath, what is something you can offer gratitude for at this moment? And then clarify your intention. Is there any aspect in your life in which you would like to feel more grounded, stability, safety, or maybe more connected in a spiritual way? And think of someone that you would like to dedicate your practice to. As you remember that we show up not only for ourselves, but for each other. And together, let's join our voices in the sacred sound of Om, honoring the silence at the end of each sound. Silence being the bija mantra, or the seed sound of your crown chakra. Let's inhale a little deeper. So imagine the next inhalation as you slow it down even more, beginning at the base of your spine, the area of your root chakra. You might picture the color red. As you breathe in, lifting that red breath all the way up through the crown of the head, picturing the color white or violet, exhale that color down to the base of the spine. Again, inhale from the root, color red, lifting the breath up the spine to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, picturing white or violet, descending down to the root. Now add to that a soft whispering sound to the breath by closing your lips and gently narrowing the back of your throat. So as you're lengthening the breath equally in from root to crown and out from crown to root, you're creating a steady, slow, and gently whispering rhythm. Listen to a few cycles as we sit still, establishing the pace with which you'll move your physical body in Vinyasa flow or breath-led movement. As the chakras are connected to your subtle energy body. Let's make our way down to our backs. And today we're going to be physically focusing on doing some inversion, which includes forward folds, lots of forward folds, lots of flexion at the hips. So let's start with a gentle way to flex at the hips. Straighten the left leg on the ground as you lie on your back. Relax the shoulders on the earth and bend your right knee into your chest. Take hold of your right thigh or shin and just start to move your right thigh bone at the hip socket, gently side to side, circularly. You could even circle the right foot at the ankle. Listen to your breathing. This posture is a variation of Ekapada Apanasana, which means one-legged, wind-relieving pose. Let's switch sides. Slide the right leg forward, bend the left knee in, and begin to move your left femur head or thigh bone at the hip socket. Maybe even circle your left foot at the ankle. Now let's slide both legs to the floor and bring the inner edges of your big toes to touch, pointing or flexing your feet. If you have lower back instability, bring your hands palms face down under your glutes like this to help support the lower back in the next movement. Otherwise, add the rigor of bringing your hands to interlace behind your skull and lifting your head and shoulders. Keep the head lifted, but keep a space between chin and chest. Now inhale, hover your heels about 2 inches off the floor. Exhale, bend your knees slowly to stack right above your hips at 90 degrees. Inhale, hover the heels forward, couple inches off the floor. Exhale, bend the knees. Let's keep going to the breath. Slow and steady. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Keep going at your own pace for maybe 3 or more cycles of breath. As you bend the knees towards you, you're bringing both hips into flexion. So avoid swinging your legs so fast that instead you're using momentum. You want to feel the contraction of the abdomen and a gentle contraction of the hip flexors. When you feel like you've warmed up enough just for the beginning of the practice, not too warm, then relax your head and shoulders and come into happy baby pose, bending your knees to your outer armpits. Excuse me, taking hold of your outer feet, maybe rocking side to side to massage the lower back. Take notice of your breathing. Is it still slow and gently whispering? Try to keep it consistent, that Ujjayi pranayama, victorious breathing, and gather your knees together into your chest. Start to rock and roll forward and back several times, building momentum, so that eventually you find yourself standing in a forward fold of your choice at the front of your mat. Feet apart, at least hips distance, parallel to each other. And take any version of forward fold your body's asking for. Maybe you bend the knees generously and hold opposite elbows, swaying the spine, shaking the head. Then press your fingertips either on 2 blocks in front of your feet or the ground itself. As you inhale to stretch the spine forward into half forward fold, glide your shoulders back, firm your belly in. Then exhale, bow again, Uttanasana. One more time, press with your hands. Inhale, stretch your chest through your upper arms in Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Press down through the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms forward to rise. Lifting the arms overhead, gently coil your chest up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your palms to meet at your heart center. Padasana. Let's move into our sun salutations, starting with Surya Namaskar C. Take a moment to remember your intention for your practice. Thinking of the qualities of groundedness, stability, and connection to a higher purpose, a bigger picture. And let's prepare to offer gratitude to the sun, this great source of energy for all of us here. So breathe in, sweep the arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow from the hips in Uttanasana. Place your fingertips down. Inhale, step your left knee behind you into a kneeling lunge. Look up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slide forward, entering Cobra pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, lifting your hips to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Press through the feet. Inhale, rise to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands at your heart center. Side 2. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, step the right knee back in Anjaneyasana. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale to Ashtangasana, lowering knees, chest, then chin. Inhale to Bhujangasana, which means cobra pose. Exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot beside the right thumb, lower left knee, look up. Exhale, step the left foot forward and bow. Rooting down, inhale, rise. Exhale, recenter at the heart. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half fold. Step to your version of plank or float to Chaturanga. And this time lower. Inhaling to cobra or upward facing. Exhaling to downward facing. Pause there for 3 deep breaths, steadying your gaze. Slowing down your breath. Inviting balanced energy by balancing the in-breath as slowly as the out-breath. When you've emptied the next exhalation, walk or jump lightly to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands in prayer. Once more, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank or float to Chaturanga or lower knees, chest, chin. Take the variation that is most appropriate for your body right now. Let's pause for a few breaths in downward facing dog. When you've emptied the next exhalation, walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's move into Surya Namaskar B, bringing the inner edges of your big toes to touch to prepare for chair pose. On your next inhale, bend your knees together to touch. Sitting low, lean back towards your heels. As you raise the arms, relax your shoulders. Utkatasana. As you exhale, shift your weight forward and fold from your hips. Press with your hands. Inhale, lengthen forward. Step to plank or float to Chaturanga. Take your version of Vinyasa here. Listen to your breath. When you arrive in downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee to the outside of your right elbow to touch, coming forward to plank. Inhale, raise the right leg back. Once more, see if you can lift the knee a little higher outside the right shoulder in plank. Then gently step the foot beside your right thumb. Stay high on the ball of the left foot. Inhale, rise to crescent lunge. Then spin the left heel down. Exhale, open up to warrior two to your left. Bending the right knee just over the heel, align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Rotating your right outer hip underneath your body to splay your right knee open towards your right pinky toe. Firm the top of your left thigh bone back as you root the outer edge of your left foot into the earth. Relax your shoulders to stack right above your hips. Imagine once again breathing from the base of your spine, the color red, rising to the crown of your head, the color white or violet, exhaling that down. Virabhadrasana 2. Let's move into extended side angle pose. Keep your right knee bent and glide your hips sideways towards the rear of your mat. Option 1, place the right forearm on your right thigh and raise the left arm. Option 2, bring the right fingertips to the inside or the outside of the right leg on a block or the floor. Make sure you're not compressing your lower back. Keep rolling the right glute under you and tacking the crease of your right hip towards your left heel. Now spin your left tricep to face the left wall and extend that arm overhead while gliding both of your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Spin your chest slightly to face the sky. Let your eyes land on one point to focus on as you relax into another 3 breaths in Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, peaceful warrior, flip the right palm up and sweep it overhead towards the back of the room. Exhale, Vinyasa, cat-cow, or straight to downward dog. You choose. Arriving in downward facing, inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, touch the knee outside your left elbow in plank. Inhale, raise your left leg back. See if you can lift the knee a little higher outside the left shoulder in plank. Step the foot beside your left thumb. Stay on the ball of your right foot. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale to your right, warrior 2. Aligning left heel to the arch of your right foot. Right away, steady your gaze inward with eyes closed or just past your left fingertips. As you bend the left knee just over the heel, wrap the outer hip underneath you. Splay the thigh open. Balance your pelvis by also firming the top of your right thigh bone back. Root the outside edge of the right foot into the ground. And relax your shoulders right above the hips, breathing up the spine from root to crown. Exhaling down the spine from crown to root. Virabhadrasana 2. Let's prepare for extended side angle pose. Glide your hips sideways towards the back of your mat. Keep the left knee bent. Lengthen your torso towards the front of your mat. Either place the left forearm on the left thigh and raise the right arm up, or lower your left fingertips on the inner or outer side of your left leg, pressing against the leg as you keep the leg still. Then spin your right tricep to face the right wall and extend the right arm overhead towards the front wall. Soften the shoulders away from your neck and spin your chest slightly to face the sky, landing your gaze. Tune into a few more breaths in Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, peaceful warrior, rise up, side bend towards the rear of the mat. Exhale to plank pose, continue to flow or rest. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Pause here, couple deep breaths. Bend your knees. Empty the breath, then walk or float to the top. Bring your feet to touch. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees together. Inhale, chair pose, completing this very different version of Surya Namaskar B. And then exhale to rise up. Now let's take it through the traditional, more traditional Surya Namaskar B, flowing to the breath. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Step or float back, insert your vinyasa. Arriving in downward dog, inhale, lift your right leg back. Exhale, gently step the foot beside your right thumb and spin the left heel down. Inhale, rise to warrior 1. Ride your exhalation down into your vinyasa. Side 2. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale the foot gently beside left thumb. Spin right heel down. Inhale to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. Check in with yourself for a few breaths in downward dog or in child's pose, remembering to truly listen to your body and notice when it's needing to rest. If so, child's pose or whatever looks like rest for you. As you tune into your breathing, when you sense that it's calm, steady, smooth again, empty it before you walk or float to the front of your mat with feet touching. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees together. Inhale, chair. Let's add a twist. Join your hands in prayer at the heart. And as you exhale, turn your chest to the right without turning your hips or legs. Inhale, tack the left hip back. Lengthen your torso forward. Try to keep your heart higher than your hips. Exhale without moving the hips. Continue to twist. Parita Utkatasana. Sit a little lower if you can. Inhale through center in chair pose. Hook your thumbs overhead. Exhale, rise to a gentle standing back bend. Join your hands in prayer, mountain pose. Bend your knees together. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Join your hands at your heart. Exhale to your left, start to twist. Taking it breath by breath, twisting at your waist, keeping the legs still. If you can, sit a little lower. Inhale through center in chair pose. Hook the opposite thumb on top. Exhale, rise, standing back bend. Join your hands in prayer. And let's set the feet apart a little wider than hips distance. Turn out both thighs from the hips. And bend your knees into your version of Malasana, a squat. Some of us might be way up here. If this is what your body needs, you can come into a horse stance. Some of us might make a stool out of blocks, sitting on that. And some of us might hover the pelvis, using the elbows to splay open the inner thighs and lifting the sternum towards the thumbs as you roll the shoulders back and down. Bring your attention again to the base of your spine. Imagine the color red. Inhale up slowly to the crown. From the crown, imagine the color white or violet. Exhale down to the roots. Couple more breaths. Place your hands in front of you. Parallel your feet hips width apart. Forward folds. Let's practice Padahastasana, stretching the outer wrists. Lifting your toes, slip your palms face up underneath the soles of your feet. Try to get your toes to meet the inner creases of your wrists. Then inhale, press your heart through the gates of your arms. Keep leaning forward, draw the shoulders back, and exhale, hinge from your hips, completely dropping your head. Now, if you can, bend your elbows apart and lift your shoulder bones to free up more space in your neck. You might shake and nod the head. You might unclench the jaw by fluttering the lips. You might release excess heat by exhaling with a mouth wide, tongue out in lion's breath, releasing any sound. How does your energy feel right now? Bringing blood flow towards the crown. Let's slip the palms out from underneath and heel toe your feet together to touch. Bend the knees and splay them apart, lifting your heels, sink your hips. Now, From here, you can start to stretch the arms forward like you're bowing in child's pose, or use this as a preparation for crow or crane pose, bakasana or kakasana, in which you place the hands a foot in front of the feet, lift the hips high, and bend the elbows back, keeping the arms parallel to each other. With steady breath, gaze ahead of your fingertips on the ground and shift your weight forward, placing your knees on top of your triceps. As you lean more forward, scoop the belly in and lift the feet, bringing them together to touch. Elbows bent or arms straight, few deep breaths. From here, you could come into a standing forward fold. You could float back to chaturanga, or those of you that practice tripod headstand can start to gently lower the top of your head to the floor, bringing more energy to the crown chakra, and start to lift the legs straight up as you press the hands down, lifting the shoulders away from the neck. Whatever you're choosing to practice, notice your breathing. Let's eventually meet in downward facing dog. Those of you in tripod headstand might try to come back to crow or crane pose and then float to chaturanga, taking it through the vinyasa. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, step the foot to the right side of your right hand and lower your left knee for lizard lunge. Now, you may want to prop your left hand on two blocks stacked at their lowest height so that we can offer a stretch for left hip flexors, which we've been contracting quite a bit. So scoot the left knee back. As you bend it, lean your torso forward. Back stroke your right arm and catch hold of your left foot or loop a strap around it if needed. Leaning forward, bring the left heel towards your glute, and you might choose to splay the right thigh open, getting deeper into your IT band as you flex the right foot to stabilize the right knee. Some of you might find that your left hand on the floor feels comfortable, or going further, left forearm to the ground. Either way, concentrate on your breathing and sense the way you are responding to what your body truly needs in this pose right now. A few practices ago, we talked about truthfulness or satya being one of the first limbs of yoga practices. One more deep breath. Release the left leg behind and walk the right foot to the inner side of your right hand. Lift the ball of your right foot flex, straightening the leg as you plug the thigh back. Extend your chest forward and use blocks under your hands if needed here so you're not shrugging the shoulders, not limiting the breath. And little by little, fold in to half split, Ardha Hanumanasana, or towards full split, tucking the back toes in Hanumanasana. Maybe reaching the arms overhead and clasping the hands, except the index for victory mudra, or folding over the right leg. A few more breaths. Now, really important to transition out of this posture slowly and mindfully. So with your hands framing your front leg, begin to drag your right heel back, stepping into downward facing dog. Pause there, notice how your body feels. Anything different on the left and right sides? Inhale, lift your left leg behind you. Exhale, step the foot on the left side of your left hand, lower your back knee, lizard lunge. Now you might want to prop your right hand on 2 blocks stacked so that as you bend the right knee and scoot it back, leaning your torso forward, you can backstroke the left arm and reach hold of your right foot, or lasso it with a strap as you bring it towards you. Some of you find that you might be able to lower the right hand on the ground or the right forearm to the ground. And if you did so on the first side, flex the front foot and splay the thigh open, just leaning the outer edge of the foot on the earth. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Notice the quality of your breathing. Breath is a vehicle for circulating prana, or vital life force energy, that which enlivens and animates our chakras in our whole being. So notice how you're regulating prana through the breath. One more deep breath here. Release the back leg slowly and walk the left foot to the inside of the left hand. Begin to straighten the left leg as you flex the foot, lifting the ball of it. Plug the thigh back and extend your chest forward to bow in. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Or begin to straighten both legs, tucking the right toes as you square both hips forward for full split. Hanumanasana. Maybe extending the arms overhead in Victory Mudra or folding over. One more deep breath. Take your time once again. We'll meet in downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale forward to plank pose. Give yourself several breaths to pass through Chaturanga Dandasana. Maybe pause there and eventually lower onto your belly. Lying face down for our last few back bends. Slide your knees as close together as you comfortably can as you straighten the legs back. Point the toes back. Now, if you have any lower back issues of instability, keep the tops of your feet actively pressing the ground the entire time in this pose. Otherwise, consider lifting your feet as well, keeping them no wider than your hips width apart and parallel to each other. Bring the hands behind you to clasp for a bound locust pose, Baddha Shalabhasana. If you can hug the heels of the palms together, try that. As you breathe in, roll the shoulders back, lifting your chest, and you're in it for 5 or more deep breaths, your count. When you're done, let your body completely rest for a couple breaths as you observe it. For the next round, I invite you into Dhanurasana, bow pose. Slide your knees close together and bend them. Reach back with your hands to hold your feet or ankles. Press your pubic bone into the ground and kick your feet away as you pull your feet towards you. Lifting your knees no wider apart than hips distance. Draw the shoulders back and look slightly down so as not to add more tension to the neck. 5 or more breaths, your count. Once again, rest for a couple of breaths in stillness. For our last back bend, I invite you into locust pose, Shalabhasana, Rest your forehead on the floor, slide your knees close together, and keep your legs straight. Point the toes back. Also try to keep your feet parallel to each other here. Bring the arms down by your sides, palms face down. And again, if you have lower back issues, keep your feet on the floor the whole pose. Otherwise, on the next in-breath, lift everything you can off the floor. 5 to 10 breaths. Now, arms can stay by your sides, or you can open the arms apart, in which by rotating the fronts of the shoulders back, turn the palms to face forward, or add the rigor of extending the arms overhead where the palms face each other and the upper arms are alongside the ears as you draw the shoulders back. When you've let it go, you might make a pillow out of your forearms to rest your head, and bending your knees, windshield wiper your shins side to side to bring ease to your lower back. Let a deep breath fill your belly, massaging it against the earth. Open the mouth, release any sound as you soften the belly. Try that twice more. With hands alongside your ribs, press up to all fours, tabletop. Let's prepare for a spinal twist and thread the needle. Inhale, raise the right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread it under your left bent elbow. Lower the right side of your head on the ground or on your block. Try to keep your hips from twisting as you turn your rib cage. Now, as we enter the more yin part of our practice, invite deeper relaxation by exhaling slightly longer than you inhale. Then start to make your way up to tabletop, taking your time to switch sides. With an inhale, raise your left arm. Exhale as you thread it under your right bent elbow, lowering the left side of your head on the ground or prop. As you hear the breath, exhaling a little longer than you inhale. Let's meet in child's pose, bringing the inner edges of your feet to touch and sinking your hips down to your heels, resting your arms wherever your body needs it. Balasana. Walk your hands back to alongside the knees and inhale to roll your spine up to sit. Let's bring the legs in front, preparing for double pigeon pose or sitting cross-legged. So bring your right shin on top or in front of your left shin. And double pigeon is where you stack your knees and ankles while flexing the feet to stabilize the knees. If that's not available here, sit cross-legged, elevate your pelvis on 2 blocks, do what you need so that it's more beneficial for you. Root your sitting bones down and lift up through the front and back of the spine while relaxing the shoulders. Breathe in. As you exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips, breath by breath. Press down through your hips and lead with your chest. Inhale to slowly rise. Stretch the legs forward, relax your feet. And let's switch the cross of the legs, left shin on top or in front. Once again, if you are able to stack your knees and ankles, make sure you're flexing your feet to stabilize your knees. Ground your sitting bones, lengthen the spine as you breathe in. Start to fold from your hips as you breathe out. Root down to your sitting bones. Lead with your chest. Inhale to rise. Let's straighten both legs forward for Paschimottanasana. Flexing the feet, root your sitting bones. Raise your arms and sit tall while relaxing the shoulders down. Breathe in. Keep a slight lift in the chest. And as you exhale, start to hinge forward from the hips. Little by little. You could walk your hands down the backs of your legs or clasp your big toes. Paschimottanasana. Press down through the hips, breathe in, to slowly rise. Please find a comfortable way to sit for one more pranayama to help us cool down and relax more deeply, turning our attention inward for Shavasana and meditation. So sitting tall, relaxed, grounded, I invite you into Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, a balancing, an energy balancing breathing technique that also helps to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. So you may rest your left hand in a mudra, thumb and index finger to touch, palm face up for inviting uplifting energy, palm face down for inviting grounding energy. What do you need right now? And with the right hand placed in Vishnu Mudra, stick out the thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. As you close the lips and continue to breathe through the nose, let go of creating a sound to the breath. Let it be very soft, gentle. We'll use the right thumb to close the right nostril like this. We'll use the right ring and pinky to close the left nostril like this. Alternate nostril breathing, or in Sanskrit, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. So as we practice, you might close your eyes and direct your inner gaze either to your root chakra, if you're inviting more grounding energy, or to your crown chakra, if you're inviting more spiritual energy. So you choose. And let's practice 3 cycles together and continue 3 cycles on your own. Prepare to begin with a deep inhale and clear it out. With right thumb, close right nostril. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 2, 1. Cover left, exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Cover right, exhale left, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Second cycle, inhale left, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Cover left, exhale right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Cover right, exhale left, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left for 6. Hold 2. Cover left, exhale right, 6. Hold 2. Inhale right, 6. Hold 2. Cover right, exhale left, 6. Hold 2. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. Now, when you finish, let go of controlling the breath. Observe how you feel. And as you're ready, gently lower your body to the ground where you can lie down to rest for a few minutes in stillness, closing the eyes, relaxing your whole body, and tuning inward with full presence, Shavasana. As you rest a little longer where you are, sense the way your physical body feels now. Notice the effects of how you practiced yoga. Start with something subtle and gentle, a little movement to begin waking up your body. Graduate into a simple stretch. And as you keep your eyes closed, take your time turning over onto your right side, resting your head. As you pause for a few moments there, notice the quality of the breath. Does your energy feel any different? When you're ready, press into the earth and slowly rise into a comfortable seat for 5 minutes sitting in meditation, which will be a guided practice of bringing awareness to our root and crown chakras and connecting with the energies there. So sitting tall and relaxed, you might close the eyes. Continue to feel your body breathe without doing anything about it. Just letting it flow naturally. Bring your mind's eye down to the base of your spine again, at your root energy center, Muladhara Chakra. Visualize the color red and sense the ways that you are supported in well-being, how your basic needs are being met, your connection to Mother Earth and all the elements, the health of your physical body and how it supports you, your network, your community, your home life, all the ways that you feel nourished without thinking so much about it. I invite you to dive into the direct experience of the feeling of it, this feeling of being supported, protected, sheltered, and nourished. And at the base of your spine, I invite you to direct this Bija mantra, this seed sound, 3 times chanting mentally or out loud, Lam, L-A-M. Deep breath in. Lam. 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 Gently lift your inner gaze all the way up the spine at the crown of your head and hovering above it. At your crown energy center or Sahasrara Chakra, imagine a glowing white and or violet light. And sense the ways you are a spiritual being having a human experience. You might imagine spiritual figures or your ancestors who are no longer in their physical form, and all the ways that they support you in this lifetime, in your well-being and spiritual evolution. Sensing your connection to all beings, coming from the same thread. Once again, try not to overanalyze it, but really tap into the feeling of your spiritual connection. as we chant the seed sound, the Bija Mantra, which is actually silence. Now notice how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. I invite you to take a moment to offer gratitude for anything that you would like to offer gratitude for. Remember what your intention is for today's practice. In what areas of your life will you continue to bring stability and groundedness? In what ways will you continue to connect to your spiritual practices and promote your spiritual well-being? Remember to whom you dedicated today's practice. And together, let's close chanting Om 3 times. Bowing in from crown to roots, from root to crown. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.